What's up, guys? Welcome back. If this is your first time here, this is Bucket 38 Racing. I know, it's not just racing. You're like, what the heck? Thumbnail said we're just building the workbench. This is racing stuff. Well, I like the demolition derby. That's what the channel started as. But we pretty much work on everything. Anything these little hands can do, we're doing. So if you enjoy that type of stuff, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you want to wait till the end of the video, go ahead and do that. See if you like it. If you like it, hit the subscribe button, comment, let me know you liked it. Hit the thumbs up. But if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. I appreciate you. But into what we're doing. So today we're going to step away from the derby car for a little bit. I know we worked on it for a couple weeks. Like I said, I don't know where we're going just yet, so we're not in a super big hurry to get that done. So we're going to take a break. This has been sitting on the back burner for a couple weeks. I found this workbench in the trash. It's like an old metal desk, and somebody had turned it into their workbench. And so I picked it up, and I thought and it was a little bit short. So I thought maybe I could put it on some 6-inch casters and get it a little bit taller and kind of make a rolling workbench. Nothing crazy. It's not going to hold a bunch of weight, but just get me up off the ground a little bit. And the only other table that I've been using is a little plastic one. So hopefully we can get us a decent workbench, and we can start fixing some of these other tools that I got laying around and get up off the ground with it. So without further ado, alright guys, so this is the workbench. I know you're screaming at me saying, no, that ain't no workbench. Well, looks like one to me. Somebody already turned this old metal desk into a workbench. It's kind of cool. They already mounted a vise to it for me. Didn't even take that off when they threw it away. And they had this like power strip that's been chopped off. There's like loose wires in there. I don't think you can see them, but then they got this junk little plug on here. I'm taking all that stuff off. That's all coming off there. It looked like they had like drill bits or maybe some like router bits, maybe, I don't know. Something put into that board. But yeah, it's got a cool little metal drawer right here. I don't know if we'll use that. They put this wooden shelf on here. But one thing I was worried about when I was talking about turning it into a workbench was these legs. So this shelf, I really don't like this shelf that they put on there. It's too high. You can't really fit anything big underneath it. So I'm going to go ahead and rebuild. And it's not tall enough also. So like me standing next to it, it only comes up to like my thigh. So sorry, sun glare. But yeah, it only comes up to like the middle of my thigh. And so it's really not tall enough. I'll have to bend over to work on anything. So I was thinking maybe if it was like 6 inches or so taller, then that would be great. So I picked up a set of these from an estate sale that I went to. Big old 6-inch caster wheels. All of them spin. So that'll kind of make this thing mobile. And at first I was gonna just weld these to the bottom of the legs, but my dad brought it to my attention that these legs aren't really made for much weight. It's made to just sit still. So if I put it on wheels, the legs are going to fold out and it's going to do the Bambi on the ice. Remember that? I know you do. That guy does. So yeah, it's going to freaking kick the legs out and it's just going to slam to the floor. I mean, it's homemade, so, but I don't want it to do that. So I had this old bed frame laying around. I was like, hey, that'll make some decent angling. I'm gonna run that around the outer perimeter of these legs, and then I'm going to mount my casters to that up underneath. Yeah, so I got to get this board off the top of here, pull this vise off. I'm going to end up putting the vise back on because I like it. I have this big one over here, but I like having options. And then I also got this cool grinder. I'll show you that a little bit later, but we're going to mount it right next to the vise, a little bit over, but that way we'll have a vise and a bench grinder on the end of our workbench. But let's go ahead and get into this. We'll take this vise off and get that board off, and then we'll flip the script. No, not the script, the bench, the table. That's what it's called. We're gonna flip the table because the whole point is to get the work off the ground, not on the ground. So if we flip it, we can work up. You know what I'm talking about. Let's just do it. I know you're screaming at me just saying go, just work. I know. Got a big old lag bolt holding that side on. Alright. Did you glue that thing on? This one should do it. There we go. Ow. Whoa. Don't do that.
Just take a claw hammer, hammer it again.
Well, I don't think it's bolted on. I think it's glued.
No, it's look at it.
Yeah. Got it. Comes right off after we get the lag bolt.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get this thing flipped over the rest of the way, and we'll start working on the bottom of it, getting the frame built around the bottom. Alright. Got me a sweat rag today. So hopefully we can keep the sweat to a minimum. It's still a little bit warm out. It's not crazy hot today, but still got the heat. Has these little adjustable feet. It's missing one, so they don't do any good, but don't need those no more. Okay. Alright. So, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to take these little brackets that shelf was on off. Okay guys, so I got to clean these bed frames up. I got to cut these rivets out, drill out some more, kind of get this ready to be used. Alright guys, we got all them bed frames cut down, or not cut down, but usable angle iron. Doesn't have all the feet and all the rivets and connecting pieces and all that junk that's on a bed frame. Now it's usable angle iron. So I did notice that these shorter pieces, because I don't think I'll have enough of this long, the full length pieces to go all the way around, but I will have enough to do the long sections, the front and the back, and then I'll just have to use these smaller pieces that flip out on the bed frame. They're same gauge, same thickness, but they're just a little bit smaller. They're probably 1/8 of an inch, about 1/8 of an inch skinnier this way, so 1/8 of an inch bigger on this one, but same thickness and everything, so I think it'll work for what we're doing. They don't have to be the exact same size, but we'll just make it work. So from there we already measured, but I'm going to measure again because the teacher always told me measure twice, cut once. Remember that. But yeah, we'll measure again and cut these down to length. Like I said, we're going to do a 45-degree pie cut, or try to. I think I got a speed square, so we'll try to do our best at making a 45 cut. Whatever we can't, whatever gap we got, we'll fill it with a weld. But yeah, get these marked out, get them cut down, and start putting this thing together. Alright guys, so I'm gonna get these angles cut down. So I gotta measure what was our length. Right, so we're gonna do 45 and a 16th, or 45 and an 8th, sorry. 45 and an 8th on these bigger ones. This end of this one's kind of got a whoopty, it's all twisted now because I was trying to get this pin out, and twisted it, so I'll go off of this end. 45 and 8. I did get some soapstones, little marking soapstones from that estate sale that I got. The caster wheels from. So that was pretty cool. I got a whole box of them. We got a bunch of stuff. I'll have to show you some of that stuff that we got. Yeah, you can kind of see behind me I got this chop saw. This is the bench grinder that we're going to put on this table, on this workbench. I've had that other miter saw for a little while, but yeah, I'll have to show you all the tools. We got a bunch of grinders, a couple other things. I'll have to show you those in one of these videos. Bunch of cool stuff, but bunch of stuff that I've been wanting for a while. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these two cut down to 45 1/8. Okay, I gotta get a speed square. Maybe I can use this thing. I think this thing's for a skill saw. Okay. So we got a 45 there, 45 there, and 90 right there. Okay, got that one marked out. So we'll go ahead and cut this one. Can you still see me? Go ahead and cut this one, and then we'll mark it out on the other one and get it all cut out. Okay guys, we got our two pieces cut, 45s. Double check. Yep, 45 1/8. 45 1/8, dead on. Means we did something right, I guess. Alright, now we need to measure our width ones. Beautiful. All right. Okay. So yeah, now we got to measure our width. Short-sided ones. They are 29 1/4 and 29 1/4. So 29 1/4, I guess, is our measurement. Finally decided to put some safety glasses on. Them sparks hurt. 29 1/4. And then we'll go ahead and mark the 45s on there, mark it all up, and get these ones cut. Okay guys, so we got two longer pieces, two shorter pieces. I didn't bore you with cutting these ones. Same exact process as the other ones. Got them all 45. Should work. So now we'll just go ahead and set them up on here. I'll have to break the welder out. It's tucked over there in that corner right there behind that cart and all that junk. I did finally get the driveway cleaned up though. Did you see that? I finally put stuff away. I know, crazy, right? That big box is finally full of stuff, and it's all off that cart. Well, not all of it, but okay, most of it. Some of it. But alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get these kind of mocked up on there and break that welder out, and we'll start getting stuff tacked together. Alright guys, we got it all clamped up. I decided to clamp the corners. I only got enough clamps for one side at a time. So we'll clamp these sides, we'll just fully weld them, and then we'll clamp that side and we'll weld that side. Yeah, so we got it all set up, got the welder out, got it all set up. Like I said, this is just a flux wire welder, Harbor Freight, cheapo special. I've welded up full derby cars with it, so it'll work just fine for what we're doing. But we'll go ahead and get to it. Did you guys bring your welding helmets? Just close your eyes. You'll be all right. We'll see how many pieces of slag we can get in these old tinny shoes here. We'll try to stand back while we do this. It's not recommended. Don't do this at home. To weld in shorts. I know it's not the proper attire, but it's too hot for pants. So just gonna get to it. So let's go ahead and get this side welded up, and then we'll move to that side. Alright, that side's burned in. Try this other welding helmet. This freaking thing, I can't see nothing out of that thing once it goes black. Yeah, not the best, but she'll do. Okay. So we got that side rolled up. Let's get these clamps off. Don't touch the welds, they're hot. No, not long enough. Of course not. Okay. So like I said, you may have to weld this together and then shove it on. It's a little bit off. Do that. Alright guys, let's get this side welded together. get this side welded together. Alright. We are welded. So now we will take and disconnect this. Pop our legs in. See, and it fits. Well, bam. See, that's how flimsy these legs are. You kind of they're going all different directions. So, but now we got them anchored down. So yeah, I think that's our frame. We will go ahead and I'm going to tack it to the legs all the way around, and then we'll kind of flip this desk around and weld it to the sides of the legs, and then we'll break the grinder out. Okay guys, we got it welded. Not the prettiest, I know. I'm not a certified welder. I ain't even a farmer welder. I'm a self-taught welder, alright? With the cheapest Harbor Freight welder I could buy. It's good enough for what I'm building. I might throw a couple more welds in there, but yeah, camera's about to die, so I gotta go charge it. So while it's charging, I'm not gonna bore you guys with the rest of the welding. It's just a bunch of flashy lights, a bunch of that. So I'm not gonna bore you with that. So I'm gonna finish welding it, and I'll let the camera charge up a little bit, and then we will come back, get a grinder hooked up, and we'll kind of clean some of these welds up a little bit, and then we will get to install the casters. So we will be right back. Whoosh. All right, okay, we're back. I went ahead and wire wheeled it, cleaned it up. And the welds are kind of somewhat junk. I'm just gonna grind the bottom of them. I'm not gonna bother inside here. I went ahead and welded up the insides all the way around. I'm not gonna worry about grinding inside. I'm just gonna grind the bottom, because that's where we're gonna set these casters. Is right here, and with that weld being there, they're a little wobbly, so we're gonna have to shave that down. But I think we're gonna mount them on an angle, just so it kind of brings the center of that wheel closer to that leg. Because if I was to mount it, because I originally thought like this, which I mean that would work probably, but I think this will work a little bit better, and I will just chop these corners off of it and then just weld all the way around there, weld underneath and stuff like that, and that should work pretty good. But first we got to grind those welds off, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Plug in your grinder when you want to use it. I plugged in another grinder that's got a wire wheel on it. because I actually flipped this over because it was taking forever for that battery to charge. I think it was something going on with the battery because I pulled the battery out, put it back in, and then it charged within like 15 minutes. So I know it was only like maybe maybe half a second for you guys, but for me it was a while. But I got me a snack. Did you get a snack? If you didn't, go pause the video and go get a snack. Okay, you back? Okay. But yeah, let's get we got it all charged up and got a drink, got a snack, all that stuff. Anyway, let's grind this thing. But sorry. My point was that when it was doing that, I went ahead and wire wheeled the whole top of this thing. I'll show you in just a minute. Went ahead and wire wheeled it and got all the rust off of it. A little bit. It's still rusty, but it's not all dusty, I guess. Dust. Yeah. Okay, grinding. Gosh, that thing's loud. Start getting these wheels mocked up on here. I think if we just line these holes up where they're about the same distance away on all sides. And that should be pretty close. We'll go ahead and tack them on, see what it looks like, see what it feels like, see if it's going to work for what we want. The welding helmet. Seems like it cooled down a little bit though, guys. Seems like there's a rainstorm coming in a little bit. Hopefully cool it down a little bit. Still a little warm though. What about you guys? Is it hot where you live? Or is it cold? You live in Alaska where it's cold? Where do you guys live? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know where you're watching from. One night. Two down. Let's clean this burr off of this one. Seemed like those ones were lifted up. I didn't even check to see if they had any burr on them. Yeah, crap, that one's got one. Dang it. Okay, we'll have to cut that one back off. It's got a burr holding it up. Alright, but yeah, we're going to have to cut this one back off. I had to clean a burr off the bottom. Looks like the guy that I got these from had them welded onto something. And so there was a little bit of metal sticking up. So I had to grind that off. I'm going to have to grind it off. It's holding this one up a little bit. It's going to be unlevel. So. Alright. Move this one back on. Alright. Let's see, let's see. No. No way. What? No way. You guys seen that guy? Tic Tac. There's no way. First try. This thing is that level. What? I didn't build it. Okay. You guys got me. I had a professional welder come build this thing. I had to have. I don't remember hiring him, but I had to have. There's no way I built this thing. First try, level. I can't believe it. Well, I guess I got him. Staring right at it. That's awesome. Okay, well, I guess that just means we got a lot more welding to do. Let's jump right into the time warp now. Alright guys, we got to flip back over. Rolls just amazing. I'm surprised with how well this thing rolls around. Well, not rolls, I know it will roll, but how level it is, it doesn't tilt at all. So I think it'll work perfect. I'm not completely sure what we're going to do at the bottom of it. I know it's going to be a shelf of some sort. I just don't know if it's going to be wood or metal. Wood I have, but I'd rather it be like a metal mesh stuff, but I don't have that. So I'll just kind of hold off on that. I don't need a shelf right this second. So we're just going to hold off on that. I'm going to go ahead and get the vise mounted back down on here, and then we are going to go ahead and put a bench grinder on this side right here. So the easy one's the vise because it's already got the holes, so we'll go ahead and get that thing mounted up. Might actually look and see if I can find some different bolts, because I did notice when this was bolted down before, you couldn't turn it. It would hit right there. So I'm going to see if I can find a smaller bolt. Okay guys, so I was looking for different bolts for this vise just because these won't let it turn. But I'm thinking I might. Alright guys, as you can see, we have a couple things mounted. Yep, happened again. The camera died when I was trying to mount the vise. Took it in, charged it, came back out, yep, you guessed it, I forgot to check the cord. I lost the audio on the videos of mounting this, which luckily it's not very much. I can just tell you about it. That's just drilling some holes, so not too bad. So I'll just kind of explain what I did. Basically, we'll start with the vise because we were working on that. So what I was talking about before the camera died was these bolts were a little bit big, and so this wouldn't spin. It would run into the bolts right here, that little nub, would run into that bolt, and as you can see, I cut the edge of that bolt off right there, so that now it can spin. And I just used the bolts that they had in there. There's a lag bolt in this one, but it tightened down. It works. And then the bench grinder, we got it on there. Decided to turn it this way. Seemed like it was better. We'll just have to see when we're using it. But pretty much that's self-explanatory. I just drilled. There was already one hole right here, and I was able to drill the other three. Pretty straightforward. I used the bolts that came out of it. That it was mounted into the 2x4 little shelf that it was mounted on when I got it. I had to use some little extra nuts as spacers to spacer that, but other than that, it does work. It is missing these pedestals, probably noticed. It's missing the little tables, so I'm gonna have to look up and see if I can find some of those. I don't know if they sell them online or something, but I'm gonna have to find those. But yeah, so and then also the bottom, how I enclosed that. I'm gonna have a shelf in there eventually. It had a wood one. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to wood and put like 2x6s down there or something. It's gonna have to be enough, because I don't want to have to weld stringers across there. I want to just have something sturdy enough that it holds, and I don't have to put a bunch of supports on there to hold it up. So maybe wood, maybe metal if I can find something. I'd like a really good piece of mesh down there and just weld it in. But it's kind of just whatever I can find. If I can't find anything, it'll most likely just be wood. But I'm basically just going to toss my saws and stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, we got a really nice workbench. I like how it turned out. It rolls really nice. If you find the right location, it doesn't wobble. A couple spots I've noticed it'll wobble, but I think that's just more my concrete, not the table. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good workbench. It's right at belt level, so you don't have to bend over. Before I put the wheels on, you had to bend over to freaking work on it. So I think it'll work out really well. We've got a couple tools that need to be kind of worked on, and this will be a really good table to work on them. A lot of which I got at the estate sale that I've been talking about. Same place I got the bench grinder, but yeah, like I said, I wanted to show you guys these. I've been wanting one of those forever. Finally got a drill press. Got a killer deal on it. It came with all the drill bits that the old man had. The lady just wanted it out of her garage. She gave me a good deal on it, and got some. I got two big 7-inch grinders now, and now I got two more 4-inch grinders. I already had one, so endless amount of cut off wheels and grinding discs and all kinds of stuff. My dad just bought a whole box of stuff, and so yeah, don't believe me, I got plenty of grinding discs and cut off wheels now. And then yeah, I've got some chop saw blades because I got a chop saw. Needs some work though. Definitely needs some work, which this workbench will come in handy. Make sure you head and hit the subscribe button and watch me rebuild this thing. See if we can get it running again. It runs. I already plugged it in. It does start up. Sounds like crap because the blade's junk on it. But yeah, and just in time for that thing to kick on. But have a good one, and we will see you on the next one.